Welcome everyone to today's online brunch and learn session. John O'Brien is my name. I'm the Managing Director of InfoConsulting and we'll be just hosting today's call. It's fantastic to have, I think we've got, let's just have a quick look at the numbers joining as they're growing. That's fantastic to see. We've already got quite a few people on today's call. So thank you for joining, and it's great to put these sessions on. Brunch and Learn, I hear everyone say, what's that all about? Well, it's a bit of an earlier start to our normal online sessions, which are usually lunch and learns, obviously, as we've got some attendees from Perth joining, so definitely early for you. And for a couple of our international speakers on today's call, it's definitely an early morning or a late evening. We really enjoy presenting these sessions in 2022, and the intent has been really to inform everyone of features that are available in IFS Cloud. And for today's call, we're changing it up a little bit and we're introducing two excellent third-party software solutions that you can easily integrate with IFS Cloud and deliver even more functionality for your business. So now you might be not a customer of InfoConsulting, and that's completely okay. We're just excited to be able to share knowledge with you. And as a trusted advisor, that's something that we include as part of our customer success journey. Next slide, if we could press that button, Alana, thank you very much. Just some housekeeping items. So you will remain muted and your video will be disabled on the webinar. So don't stress if you have got up early this morning and you haven't had a chance to do your hair, we won't see it. There will be a 10-minute Q&A session as well at the end of the presentation, and you'll see to the right of your screen, I think that's where it appears for everyone who's joining. It's on the right of my screen anyway. You'll have a chat option. So feel free to add any questions in the chat, and I will ask those questions to our presenters at the end of today's session. And as well, at the end of each presentation, we'll have a quick poll just to gain some information from you of the topics presented and of their interest to you. Here's my one and only sales pitch for this morning. If you haven't engaged previously with InfoConsulting, we're easy to deal with and ready to be an expert advisor in digital transformation processes. Our business is actually global. We're one of 5 IFS strategic partners worldwide. We work in specific industries, as we've listed here, where we bring our knowledge and skill set. And most importantly, we like to pass on our knowledge about different features and add-on solutions that are available to IFS. Moving to our next slide. So I'd just like to briefly introduce our speakers for today's webinar for our Brunch and Learn. Firstly, welcome to Ranil. Ranil is one of our lead consultants from InfoConsulting based in Perth. He's been with us since the start of our business and has over 15 years of IFS experience in various projects in Australia, South Africa, Middle East, and Sri Lanka. Ranil enjoys the functional consulting side of his role, but I know deep down he's a techie guy and he loves the technology behind things. I also believe Ranil has maybe a soft spot for building large Lego models, and maybe today's presentation might bring that passion out in him. We'll find out. It's also great to have Jeff Brickler joining us from Cincinnati, Ohio. It's a very good evening to you, Jeff, and thank you very much for you taking your time out to join us on today's session. Jeff has been with CAD-Talk for over 7 years, various roles such as solution architect and also product manager. And one thing I learned about Jeff, that he's actually a qualified teacher. So there you go. And finally, a big welcome and an early good morning this time to Siraji Ratnayake, who's joining us today from Colombo in Sri Lanka. Siraji is the founder and CEO of WorkHub24, an enterprise workflow automation tool that we think is a leader in its field. So prior to commencing WorkHub24 in 2020, Siraji has held roles as CEO, COO, and senior consulting with various software vendors. That's our speakers for today, and a quick look at our agenda. because I'm sure this is probably something that everyone's keen to have a look at and understand more. So we will introduce you to the IoT connected devices in IFS Cloud. The hands-on presentation by Ranil will show you how you can bring any type of data captured with the help of IoT into IFS, and then how you can automate a number of those key business processes to shift your enterprise asset management to the next level. Now, if you've been looking at a simple solution to integrate your CAD or PLM data directly into IFS, then Jeff's going to be introducing us to CAD Talk, and it's a 100% off-the-shelf solution to bring CAD and BOM data to life in IFS Cloud. And lastly, if your business is bogged down in those paper-based forms and manual keying of information, who doesn't have to do those? It creates hundreds of our admin hours each week. Then WorkHub 24 is definitely a product for you. Siraji will introduce you to an enterprise automated workflow management solution that simply integrates with any other solution that you may have. So let's get straight into it. We're going to move straight over to Ranil, and I'll hand over to you, Ranil, to kick off our Brunch and Learn session for November. Thank you.
Thanks, John, and thanks a lot for the great introduction. So let me share my screen. Hope everyone can see my screen.
Not yet, mate. We can now.
Okay, yep. Thanks. Yeah, so I'm going to take you through IoT features of IFS Cloud, followed by a live demo with our Lego truck. Okay. So what is IoT? So we all know what IoT is. It's basically a set of sensors or thousands of sensors and other devices transmit information on their surrounding environment. So, and essentially, those devices are connected to external platforms for further processing or analyzing. So, it could be a simple thermal sensor monitoring the temperature of a freezer in food industry or in medical industry, or it could be a drone analyzing power lines or train tracks in a faraway location. So, these devices are connected to a software platform, or we call it IoT platform, via internet or a private network. So when it comes to IoT with IFS, it's not a new concept. IoT Gateway, IFS IoT Gateway was introduced with IFS Applications 9. However, in the last couple of years, as IFS says during the pandemic, they have been really busy with simplifying their architecture and making it simple and easy to use. So let's have a look on the simplified architecture. So this is, as you can see here, the REST API is one of the main components which replace the old IoT gateway. This is very simple and more secure, and it uses the open standards, meaning that you have more control over it. So starting with the devices here. So just to explain a little bit. So these devices, you connect all your devices and sensors to your favorite IoT platform. It could be Azure IoT Central or any other platform of your choice. So this is where we define rules to filter information going to the enterprise software. So you don't need all your raw data from various sensors coming into IFS every second or two. So however, so the raw data can be stored in platforms like Azure Data Lake or similar software for further analysis. So if the data need to flow into IFS, it is very simple now. You just need to invoke the REST API. The REST API is hosted in the same IFS cloud server. So you don't need any other servers or services. And it uses the same technology as IFS Cloud Arena. for those who are not familiar with Arena, it's the IFS Cloud's user interface. In earlier versions, we had Enterprise Explorer, we call IFS Enterprise Explorer or IE, but now it is Arena. So, but in nutshell, the whole architecture itself is simple and security is built in. This REST API then invokes the cloud IFS Cloud's IoT controller and pass the information to IFS business modules such as like EAM, service management, manufacturing, or any other module. So let's have a bit further look into this IFS Cloud's IoT controller. Here we have the REST API. The REST API registers data as observations. Let's assume a vibration detected in one of your devices and pass it on to IFS via your IoT platform. Then it registers the vibration as an observation with its attributes like frequency, strength or amplitude, duration, etc., whatever the information coming from sensor. And then observations are linked to a device. A device is like an equipment object or meter registered in IFS. So what happened is after that, so it kicks off the observation flow. The observation flow is basically a set of predefined instructions to perform an operation. It can also have additional filter criteria. So we can define multiple filter criteria within IFS as well. So for instance, when you have when you observe a vibration, what you should do, it can create an inspection work order or trigger a maintenance event if the vibration is high. Otherwise, like if vibration is low or any other like low or medium, then you just need to register those as a kind of a meter reading against the object. So we can define those rules against the filter operation conditions. So the logic to invoke the IFS functions are captured in operation models. So there are set of predefined operation models. You just need to map the field mapping according to your requirement. So we can use, these are ready to use. Basically, you can create a service request based on your observation and measurements, register the map location, start or stop operation. Likewise, we can use these operation models straight away, as well as, and you can also create your own operation model with the help of a PLSQL block. So and IFS also has provided some templates for Azure Central, IoT Central, so where you can use them as a starting point, so and expand further, so you don't have to start from the scratch. And IFS also has some lobby pages, so which you can use straight away, or you can pick this one as per your requirement. So okay, now moving on to the interesting topic. So with our Lego truck, let me turn on the camera. Just give me a second.
Yep, perfect, Renil. We can see your very impressive Lego truck and your screen behind it.
Thank you. Yeah. So I will just explain a bit what we have done here. So I will take to this side, and so this one you can see is built out of Lego, and so we have put a couple of sensors here. So here I have a vibration sensor which detect the vibration in like three different levels, like low, medium, and high. It's also spits out the duration that vibration detected. And here we have a tilt sensor. The tilt sensor, basically we can get the position of the bed, basically the angle of the bed, and it's throws from the degrees in like steps of 10, like 10 degrees, 20 degrees, and so on. And from that we can also get the tipping count. And these things are now we have integrated to IFS. I have a little small Wi-Fi device. So this Wi-Fi device is basically connected to my home Wi-Fi now. This is our battery backup for these sensors. And this truck is basically operated by this little mobile app. So I can lift the truck bed if I need, and so on. So let me also switch to the IFS application so we can see one of the lobby page I have created. Yeah. So yeah, I hope you can see the lobby page. Yeah. So this is the lobby page for this particular asset. You can see I have selected the asset ID as VHT with the sequence number. And just to give a little bit of introduction to here. So here in these tiles, I can see the tipping count and the last hour tipping count as well as the total and the truck bed position in decrease. And also here I can see the number of fold reports. Last hour I got like 4 fold reports, and in total 22. And some information about the vibrations that we received from the device. And also here I can see the incoming observations. So if any information throws out from these sensors, you would be able to see here. And there are some statistics graph here. Okay, so let me create a manual vibration here, and then we can see it's creating a fold report in the system, and also we can see the number of vibration detected. Currently it's 4, so I'm going to give a little tap so I can generate a vibration here. Yeah, so this tab basically generated a vibration. Today I am using Node-RED as my IoT as my IoT platform, and you can see that detected, and the fold report count increased by 1 now. Now we have 5 fold report in the last hour. And also you can see here in the observation we received a vibration and it is completed now. So let's have a look on the fold report just created. So I will click on this and select the fold report. So in here, so it says perform inspection. So we can define these parameters as you required. And it's detected the who reported, like in I have defined the user as IoT gateway. And this information we can manage even the symptoms. I have put a vibration here likewise. And then what thing I would like to show you is this in the attachment panel. If I expand here, you can see IoT observations. So here I can see the observation receipt. It is automatically attached to the object, or in this case the fold report. I can move to the observation to see more information. So these are the information I received through this device. So the vibration level, medium, and also the duration. This is basically in milliseconds. It's just captured. Yeah. Okay, let me go back to my original lobby page, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up this the truck bed, and then we can see this the position is getting changed. So this tile I am refreshing every second just to show you how it is getting changed. So we can see near real-time information. So let me start. So the truck bed is going up now. So now you would be able to see it's the 10 degrees. So basically this angle is 10 degrees. So let me keep continue. So as I increase the truck bed, so you can see the information are getting updated in our lobby page. So basically we can monitor like real time or near real time information. And now it's getting to 30 and 40, and it's in the final position, and 50 degrees. So you can see at the same time the tipping count also got increased. Okay, so this information we just captured, and you can see the received data also here. Okay, let me put it down to the original position, and we can see the truck bed position is changing. 40 degrees, 30 degrees, 20, and 10. Yeah, and then the 0th position. Yeah, so that's how it works basically. So with a very simple sensors and some open source IoT platform, I have illustrated this one. But yeah, so that's all I was planning to show you today. So if you have any questions, you can put it to the chat and we can answer at the end of the session. Thank you very much. John, over to you.
Thanks very much, Ranil. Really quite insightful into a lot of the technology 4.0 initiatives that IFS has now built into IFS Cloud. And as Ranil showed there with some very simple hardware technology, you can even integrate a lot of that data into IFS. So thanks, mate. And I love that. I love that dump truck. How long did it actually take you to put it together?
3 days with my son.
Ah,
He helped.
there you go. Did your son do most of the work?
Yeah, he was so excited
Yeah,
to do this.
good to hear. I'm sure he enjoyed it. No, thank you, Anil. I guess we should move to our poll time that will run after every session that we have today. So we'll just post the poll up now. So we're just asking here is, have you started looking at IoT activity in your organization? Maybe it's something that you're considering for the future. Really appreciate to get some of your feedback on the poll, and we'll just wait for some answers to come through. It's still coming through. Yeah, interesting. So we're seeing here that it's probably about 40-60 split, where 40% of the feedback we're getting at the moment is, yeah, we are looking at it and it's part of ongoing projects. And the last point there, which is it's something that we're interested in and we're having ongoing discussions. So hopefully today you've seen with IFS Cloud that the capability is there, that you can do this. Thanks for your feedback, everyone. Well, let's keep moving on. We're going to move across now to Jeff Brickler. And as we said at the start, Jeff's going to be presenting CAD Talk and the functionality that's available to integrate CAD into IFS. So handing over to you, Jeff.
Great.
And again, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, great. Thanks for having me. So hello, everyone. So today I'll be presenting a CAD, PDM, and PLM integrations with IFS applications and IFS Cloud. So go ahead, next slide. So just a little bit about myself. I think John mentioned that I've been working with CAD Talk for 7+ years. I used to work with customers on the implementation side. I also worked on the product side. I have experience with implementing CAD Talk with manufacturing companies all over the world, 100+ integrations. Fun fact about me, and I think John mentioned, is I am a licensed teacher. I used to teach 7 years ago. I left the classroom after 11 years. I used to teach 13 to 18-year-olds. I used to teach them Latin. That is the dead language, Latin. So that was my career prior to coming to this industry. So just a nice kind of interesting fun fact. Next slide. So first, let's talk about how important is a bill of material to IFS. So how important is that product structure, whether that's the engineering product structure or the inventory parts product structure. This graphic illustrates it best. So definitions of items, parts, and bills of material are the foundation of many parts of IFS, right? In terms of costing, in terms of the shop floor, scheduling, the shop orders, really purchasing. The BOM drives everything at all aspects of a manufacturing process. And of course, we all know that data drives these, and these modules, scheduling, purchasing, planning, all of those, manufacturing, all those work best when the data, the underlying data, that is the bill of material, the part records, the master parts, the inventory or engineering parts, and the revisions are consistently accurate, right? And don't have errors. So anything that you can do to improve the accuracy, consistency of that data will give you vast improvements across the entire system. Really helps you realize the value of the investment of the ERP, right? So we've heard that term, garbage in, garbage out. So anything you can do to improve that process and get better data will increase the value of you're getting from IFS Cloud. Next slide. So what is CAD Talk? So CAD Talk, this is a quote from one of our customers. He described it as the only AI-driven three-way matching system with his ERP. So the way he had likened it was that he sees CAD Talk as kind of the in-between that ties together their CAD software, their engineering intent, their design, that knowledge, and the ERP. So really that triangle. So CAD Talk is an integration from your popular CAD and PDM and PLM applications, some of which I know you've heard of. So Autodesk products, SolidWorks, as well as PTC products like Creo and Windchill, other PLM products like Teamcenter, a number of others out there. We have experience with all of those. So really being able to provide those kinds of capabilities for IFS Cloud. Next slide, please. So what is CAD Talk? And when we talk about this AI, so CAD Talk has an artificial intelligence engine, sort of a configurable engine that allows us to transform your EBOMs that's coming out of CAD or PDM or PLM systems. Again, some of the major ones I discussed, into those manufacturing bills of material and routings inside IFS Cloud. So some of you may be using sort of two landing spots for parts and BOMs in IFS. One is what we call the engineering parts and structures, and then also the inventory parts and structures. CAD Talk has an integration to both sides of that, both those landing spots inside IFS. And our intelligence engine allows CAD Talk to take the data from the engineering and really applying that business logic and that intelligence, turn it into what IFS needs. So doing things like figuring out whether the part is purchased or manufactured, automatically setting phantoms, adding characteristics to parts on the master part data. On the inventory parts side, also creating automatic routings, adding raw materials dynamically based upon dimensions in the model or dimensions in the PDM data. So really going beyond a simple import tool, what I often would call a kind of an AI manufacturing engineer, someone who sits between those two systems and then translates the data into what IFS needs. Next slide, please. So what does CAD Talk do? What's the impact? What's the value of CAD Talk? So we've done some recent market data research to talk about how much time do engineers spend on engineering tasks, the things for which they are hired and get paid. So that's design engineers. So design engineers make about $100,000 per year. That's the burden rate so the total cost of an engineer is about $100,000. And about a third of that time they spend in non-engineering tasks. So that could be answering questions from the shop floor, dealing with purchasing mistakes, communication back and forth, entering bills of material, that sort of non-value added or non-engineering tasks. So the $33,000 per engineer is spent not designing, not doing the work for which the manufacturing company is and their IP is trying to accomplish. And so what we find with CAD Talk is that CAD Talk improves those processes and efficiencies by up to 80%. So you take the current cost, right? If that's $100,000 and a third of their day is used with a third of their day or their year is used with non-engineering tasks, CAD Talk can really, because we're improving the process by automating, enhancing it, making it consistent, we're reducing that non-engineering tasks time down to just 6.6%, right? So we're improving that 80%. So that 33 goes down to 6. So that gives you kind of an idea of the savings, right? Just on one person per year, you're talking over $25,000 of savings, right? For someone spent. Even if it's only half that, that's $12,000 per person per year. Even if it does only improves 50% of that benefit. So what does CAD Talk, this intelligence, this consistent automation process do? Well, it's more time for engineers to do what they do best, right? R&D, research and development, doing the design of products. We find that customers can get up to the market faster, 5 times faster. So they're able to go from design to the shop floor and deliver direct to the customer up to 5 times faster. What does that lead to? Increased sales, because you have a competitive advantage faster than the market. Less time spent in transitions, task switching. These days, we know with the ubiquitous phones and things dinging us out all the time, it's easy to get stuck in task switching. And so CAD Talk allows those engineers to say and focus on what they need to do. And of course, higher job satisfaction because they are doing the tasks for which they were hired and for which they have that skill set. Next slide, please. So one of CAD Talk's other benefits I briefly mentioned was the shortening of lead times. So as you can see at the top level, in the green and the purple, this is where CAD Talk fits in. We're talking about the engineering to manufacturing handoff. So there's a certain amount of engineering time, and then there's a certain amount of manufacturing time. And a lot of the time of those two blocks in green and purple is spent in queue, right? Spent waiting to get some data so that you can continue your designs, waiting to get data into IFS Cloud to continue down the process, because someone's got to key that information manually, or they got to ask a bunch of people through emails, or maybe they're exporting spreadsheets or some kind of other process that's slow. What CAD Talk does is it really shortens those two pieces, because it improves, gets engineers access to data faster, improves their overall design time, while also speeding up to 5 times that handoff to manufacturing. So really reducing those two blocks, right? So now you're getting that shorter lead time, from the sale of a product all the way to invoicing and receiving those funds. Okay, next slide, please. So what does CAD Talk and integration to IFS Cloud? What do we do? What do we do that's different, right? There are I've seen other solutions out there, and people talk about what makes CAD Talk different. Is CAD Talk is a completely off the shelf, out of the box solution that integrates directly to IFS Cloud. It is a configurable integration between and synchronization framework between, say, your CAD and PDM and IFS, both IFS applications and IFS Cloud. I should mention that we are backward compatible. So CAD Talk has its own built-in intelligence engine that allows us to write rule sets for that transformation. So CAD Talk goes beyond simply giving a thin integration where you then have to do a bunch of development behind the scenes. CAD Talk has a built-in intelligence engine with Excel-like expressions that allow the customer to define, according to their business process, how that transformation to take place. CAD Talk is a configurable bi-directional integration, so we can sort of push data to IFS as well as pull data into the models, especially for helping with design time. So automatically reserve new part numbers, look up raw material codes, check on hand quantities, really give the engineer data at his or her fingertips when they need it for that design. And what's the beauty is that because CAD Talk is configurable and that intelligence engine is built right inside the solution, customers can maintain and configure the product for themselves. So even very much like IFS, in the sense that you get set up, you get going, you go live, you become a student of how the how you can configure those solutions to fit your needs better, to extend them. So CAD Talk is scalable, extensible, so that you can continue to drive more and more efficiencies, more and more automation into your process, improving those data flows. Next slide, please. Excellent. So what are some of the benefits that our customers talk about? I like to always tie it back to what our customers say, what our IFS customers say. And as I mentioned, one talks about having fidelity, that three-way match on truth, knowing that what's happening in engineering, what's happening in the model, and what's happening in IFS really is supported through CAD Talk's intelligence and just through that AI engine. Being able to automatically handle revisions that are comparing revisions between CAD and IFS, attaching documents, PDF files to document management or onto revisions, really leveraging all the aspects of IFS so that you're getting the most utilization, even leveraging the ECO module in IFS for better communication back to the design engineers. Another is the self-management of changes, right? That idea that if you wanted to extend and increase the automation capabilities, the consistency that you want to drive in the bill of material, the customers would say, we do that ourselves, right? We can get in there, no development needed. We're not coming back to CAD Talk and paying another fee. We can take ownership of this because everything is manageable right inside of CAD Talk. CAD Talk never customizes its software for one particular customer. Everybody can, every customer has their own rules that they can manage and use for that transformation from the CAD or PDM, PLM into IFS. And lastly, it's about faster delivery. So we have this particular customer talks about they can click a button to transfer their BOM and files from their PLM to ERP. So they go directly with IFS. They're able to release out of their PLM. CAD Talk runs in a fully automated fashion behind the scenes for this particular customer, processes everything, phases out old revisions, phases in new revisions, attaches documents, retires old revisions, builds new ones. Really, they have to do no additional work inside IFS to get to the shop floor. So they can make changes quickly for their customers, and that shows up in IFS almost instantly. So I should, at this point, talk about CAD Talk can work in three kind of ways. It can be run from inside a CAD system, like SolidWorks or Inventor or Creo. It can work as a standalone host, which is really nice for someone down in manufacturing where you don't need CAD, and it can run as that fully automated service. So CAD Talk is really focused on being flexible to fit the customer needs, not making the customer bend to what the software, the limitations of the software. Next slide, please.
I think we might be at the
end
there,
oh,
Jeff.
Fabulous.
Yeah, fantastic. That's that was really insightful with what was presented, Jeff, and I think it was great to see you and the team at IFS Unleashed in Miami last month. I guess joining the technology partner program of IFS, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I should mention that we are on the IFS Global Alliance team. In fact, we go to market with IFS. We're on the IFS price list even. So certainly have a strong relationship with IFS.
Yep. Yeah, fantastic. And I think just to see, get an understanding of that three-way data matching between CAD, engineering, and ERP is so important. And obviously, when you talk about 80% efficiency gains, everyone gets excited. So fantastic. We've got a couple of questions coming in for you too,
Okay,
Jeff.
excellent.
So please hang around. Don't go to sleep
No
yet.
problem.
Thanks,
pleasure.
Jeff. Really appreciate your presentation. We're now going to move on to the poll for this section around CAD Talk. So what are we asking on this poll? So we're saying might be more relevant to people that are using BOMs in IFS, but how many items and BOMs do you create or update per week? in IFS. We might only get a small sample back from everyone, but it'd be interesting to get your feedback. Yeah, okay, we're getting a couple of responses back. Between 50 to 100 bombs seems to be the main driver at the moment. So that's good to know, and thanks for the feedback. And hopefully you can see with CAD Talk integration, that it really will bring some of those efficiency gains to the table. Excellent. Well, we're going to move now on to our last speaker, which is Siraji. So again, what I spoke about at the start, Siraji is going to be talking about enterprise workflow automation with WorkHub 24. And as we all know, there's certain things that you can't do in IFS that you really do want to capture, I guess, a fairly complex workflow process. And Siraji will be talking about low code, no code very shortly. And capturing that data obviously is critical. So Siraji, going to hand over to you now, and look forward to your presentation. Thank you again.
Thanks, John. Thanks, John. I believe you can hear me loud and clear.
Loud and clear, and we can see the presentation as well, mate.
Thanks, John. That was an excellent presentation, Jeff. I really enjoyed it. And ladies and gents, do you know what? It's not just Ranil who would like to play with Lego. We too like to do the same. So stick around. I'm going to show you how we are doing it. So let me start my part of the presentation. So initially, I would like to start by talking some of the challenges which we have seen some of our customers face, right? So one of the number one in our challenges is we have seen our customers, they do have excellent systems in place, such as ERP software, HRIS software, inventory software. So they do have fantastic, excellent systems in place. But what we have also seen is there are pockets of digitalization. So the pockets of excellence in place. But when you're trying to do end-to-end digitalization across platforms, across the departments, across the organizations, sometimes our customers are facing challenges. So that's why with a platform like WorkHub 24, we are trying to put a layer or an agile layer on top of all these excellent IT infrastructure and give you a common layer to automate processes by talking to your existing systems and also to talking to the people in the organization. So that's number one challenge, the challenge number one. The second, so keep these excellent IT infrastructure such as ERP, HRIS apart, but also we've seen there are many other small applications deployed by companies. It could be an application for purchase requisition. It could be a small application for daily or weekly timesheet submission. It could be a small application for employee onboarding, another small application for expense approvals. So you can see this list of applications, it grows over time. That is a nightmare for an IT team or even for any company to maintain multiple applications from multiple vendors. So how we can help you solve it? We can actually WorkHub 24 can help you put hundreds of these type of applications on top of one WorkHub 24 platform, and you can enjoy the benefits of all. Another one, the number three, irrespective of all these IT infrastructure you have, we've still seen there are communications happening over WhatsApp. There are communications happening over email, Excel sheets, paper-based forms, which actually could compromise security. So how we can help there? Put a proper process automation in place with document management capabilities, document approval capabilities, with e-signature, with a proper SLA-driven task structure. So that's how we can help you there as well. Another thing is IT departments are always overwhelmed with so many requests coming from so many departments in the organization. Sometimes you just don't have time to serve them. Even to get a third-party application in place, you don't just have time. So how we can help you do that? So we can help you. We provide you with a very flexible platform, just like playing with Lego. You can just drag and drop and create the applications or the process applications the way you want. So we actually call it the citizen development, which we empower which we empower persons or people in your organization who wants to do the process automation by themselves. It could be from finance department, it could be from IT department, it could be from operations. If they have a knack to do it, if they are willing to do it, we can help them do it by themselves. Yeah, you can take a load of work off from the IT team, and you can actually empower or democratize the digitalization in your organization. And finally, another problem we've seen is you have systems in place. It could be your IFS ERP, it could be another legacy system in place. When you bring in a new system, uh, have you faced any integration challenges? It's not just always the REST API support they have. Sometimes you have a system with no APIs at all. It could just be a database with all database with some data which you cannot get rid of because you need this information. So it could be a system where you have a very legacy protocol such as SOAP or any other protocol. So how do you interact or integrate these legacy systems with the new systems coming in? That's where, again, we can help you with an API gateway, a builder, and a protocol translator, where we put a wrapper around these legacy systems and make them ready or modernize so that they can talk to the other systems, including WorkUp24 in your organization. So these are the challenges and the solutions which we can help you with. So going forward, let me introduce two main areas which I want to talk about today. First is the process automation. So introducing WorkUp24, which is a no-code, low-code platform, meaning it actually can help you do the process automation without writing a single line of code. This is why I spoke. This is why I spoke about Lego. You just drag and drop and create the workflow the way you need. That's number one. The number two is the API automation. So the API automation is where we help you build APIs to the system where you don't have APIs. By directly talking to the database, we will build a REST API for you. Same way, we can help you with the protocol translation. If you have SOAP, for example, and if your other systems speak REST HTTP, we can actually help you the translation from SOAP to REST HTTP so that you actually modernize your existing systems. So talking of process automation, this is what we essentially do. In any process or any activity in any organization, there are people, there are systems. So what do? We connect them, we model them. Once we model, we make sure when anyone starts a process, it could be manual, it could be automated. We make sure it goes to the right person at the right time with the right information, and also talk to the right system such as IFS ERP and get the job done. This is, in a nutshell, this is what we do, right? And talking about API gateway, what we do, you can see in the left hand side, you have these wonderful databases. It could be Oracle, MySQL, Postgres, whatever. And also there could be legacy systems already in place, like HRIS, inventory, ERP, CRM, whatever these things. And when you want these systems to talk to a platform like WorkUp24, it could be a new mobile application you're working on. WorkUp24 API gateway, which we call API Hub 24, can actually help you with this translation by building the REST APIs within minutes. You just configure it. You don't even need to write a SQL query. You just configure in a no-code, low-code way, and it just gives you the REST API to be consumed. Going forward, so again, coming back to process automation, these are some of the processes, just to give you an idea. It's not an exhaustive list of processes, but these are some of the processes which we actually can help, or WorkUp24 can help you to automate. Take from finance. It could be your procurement process, expense approvals, expense reimbursements, order management. So the nice thing here is we will not do these things alone. We will talk to IFS ERP or whatever the other systems in place. We will make sure there's end-to-end digitalization or process automation by talking to the right systems in your place. Maybe issuing the PO could be happening through your ERP. However, before that, If you have a purchase requisition process, approval process, we will make sure that happens. And then we will talk to the right ERP and request via API saying, please issue the PO for such and such a person or the organization. And then sales and marketing, starting from a very simple Kanban based drag and drop sales CRM, then customer inquiry processes, some of the processes in the sales. Operations could be huge list of processes, but some of these examples are maintenance work orders, document approvals, vendor registration, vendor performance evaluations, all these things could come there. Admin and HR. If your company is very big on the HR side, if you have contractors, if you have employees, thousands of employees, it would be a very good area to automate, because you could be having challenges in employee onboarding, employee offboarding, or sometimes simple things like employee loan request, or even daily or weekly or fortnightly timesheet submissions. All these things can be done with Workup 24 by connecting, if needed, by connecting to your payroll or the HRIS, which is already in place. Some of the other areas which we can help you automate, ITSM side. I mean, I'm sure you have a fantastic IT department in your organization. So how we can help there? Handle IT support requests. So have a process or a workflow or application for each and every task like this. It could be IT asset request, access request to systems, creating master data in your ERP. How do you make sure that those requests are streamlined? Incident reporting, IT asset disposal, all these things we can help you automate in your organization. So now how we do this? This is a fun part. So all we do is we don't write any coding. It's just visual. You just create the UIs just like this, and then we create the user interface for the end user application. And once you do this, it's not just dumb UI. Without again writing a single line of code, you can do the validations, you can do the computations, you can execute business logic, and also you can talk to the other systems very easily. Just configurations, not a single line of code is written. And once you do the UI, the rest is again the fun part, the Lego pieces. This is where all your Lego pieces are in. So you can just drag and drop and create the flow the way you want. If you want just an approval, you just drag and drop an approval. If you want to write to a database, internal database to read or write certain information, you just drag and drop a database component. If you want to send an SMS, if you want to send an email, there's a block for each and every functionality. Even if you want to talk to another system, you drag and drop the HTTP request component. So this is how we make all of your processes automated within minutes, hours, not certainly in months or years. So when we do that, we will have a lot of data about you. From all the processes, we will collect a lot of data. So then with this data, we can actually help you visualize or actually do the visualization through the reporting and dashboards in the system itself. So one thing which I mentioned earlier also, we actually drive citizen development. The citizen development is a concept where you actually basically democratize the technology, democratize the process innovation in your organization. It shouldn't be confined to the IT department only. If you in your organization, if you have people who wants to do process automations in different departments, and if you want to democratize this, and if you don't want to have bottlenecks in just with the IT department, what you can do is we can help you run this program, this kind of a program, by training different persons from different departments so that they do their own automations. Obviously, through a governing process, we can help you do that. And so how do we deliver this? We actually deliver this in a SaaS way, meaning software as a service way. So you don't have to worry about hosting infrastructure, etc. Everything will be in the cloud, and you can just start using it the way you want. And also there are set of pre-built workflow applications already in place. That means there's no lead time. If you want, you can even start from tomorrow itself. And how the model works, it's basically subscription based, pay as you go. If you want to start small, expand later, not a problem. And finally, all these things, we do not place any limitations on number of processes you can automate. In fact, we want you to automate hundreds of processes in your organization. The more processes automate, it's good for you. So there's no any restrictions from the finance side or the platform side, scalability side. You can start with couple of couple of process automations, then you can actually go up to hundreds of processes, hundreds of forms. If you have manual forms, manual checklists in your organization, it's really easy to start automating one by one, and maybe few months down the line you will have hundreds of workflow applications running. And also we do come up with a mobile app which your team members can actually use on the go as well. So that's it from my side. Thank you very much, everyone. John, over to you.
Siraji, thanks very much. Really interesting to see how WorkHub 24 can simply automate a lot of processes in a business. And it's one of the things that we might ask about now with our poll, which is coming up right now. And we've got about 5 minutes left, so I think the presenter spoke too long at the start. But do your employees fill paper-based forms out? This will be interesting. If anyone says no, I'd be really surprised. And probably everyone's going to say no just to show me up here. But yeah, look, not really surprised with some of those answers coming back. It seems to be sometimes. So, you know, there's some areas that are not being captured in existing solutions or even in IFS, and quite a few answers coming back as yes as well. So thanks so much for the information coming back there on the polls. But we're going to open up now for some questions and answers. We've already received quite a few, so thanks very much for sending them through. If you still have a question, still time, because we've got, about 5 minutes to go before we wrap today's session up. So I might kick off with some questions. I'm just reading some of them now. We might actually go to you, Jeff, if that's okay. Couple of questions that have come through.
Yep, happy to answer.
Thank you, mate. What versions of IFS do you support with CAD Talk?
So we support 8, 9, and 10, and the cloud.
Perfect. Yep. Okay. So that's good to know. That's all the products really that are currently used by a lot of install-based customers, not only in Australia but globally. And how long does CAD Talk take to implement?
Excellent question. Yeah, that's an excellent question. CAD Talk, because CAD Talk is an automation software, install and setup are quick. You can get CAD Talk connected to IFS, get a basic import going with the manual interface in probably less than 8 hours. The implementation really happens with the rule writing. That's kind of an iterative process. I'd say most customers do that in about 50 hours. To get as much automation as they want. That 50 hours is usually not 1 week, right? It's usually iterative.
Yep.
I'd say 3 to 5 hours a week over 10 as well. 10 weeks, 10
Okay.
weeks. Yep.
Yep. Perfect. And what design suites does CAD Talk integrate with?
Good question. So all the major ones, so Autodesk products, Inventor, Vault, AutoCAD, Revit, SolidWorks is one of the big ones. First CAD, SolidWorks PDM, PTC Creo, and then a lot of the major PLMs, Windchill, Arena, Team Center. Those are the big ones that we see. We also have a spreadsheet add-in that will cover kind of any kind of text-based or tabular data. That actually probably it's our third most common integration because everybody still uses spreadsheets in some fashion, if for legacy drawings or for something.
Yep. That's good to know. Thanks, Jeff. There's a couple more questions coming in, so I might get to that if we get time. But moving across to talk about IoT, Ranil, a couple of questions that have come in as well. Can IFS control a device other than just reading data from sensors?
Yes, that's a good question, John. Yeah, yes, it is possible. So we can actually pass information back to IoT platform and then to your device. The device could be a machine itself or just an LED or e-paper, anything like that. Yeah, that's possible.
Yep, yep, perfect, perfect, mate. Another one that's come in is can you store raw data in IFS, which is coming from those IoT devices?
Okay, the answer is basically yes and no, I would say. So there are some data tables available, especially in this asset performance management module, where you can like we can store like meter readings and speed changes likewise. But our recommendation is like you don't want to make your enterprise database heavier with those raw
Yes.
data information. We just
Yep.
and use like data lakes, like similar
Yep.
software to install your raw data and then analyze from there.
Yep. Yep. That makes sense. And there's one, probably this has been a generic question that's coming across for all three presentations that we've done today. And Jeff's already answered this, but is IoT connectivity available in older versions of IFS, not just IFS Cloud?
Yes, the connectivity is available in application 9, 10, and cloud as well. But it's a bit different because in previous versions we had like IoT gateway, so it's a bit of
Yep.
legacy now.
Yep.
We recommend you can possibly use IFS Cloud, but it is possible.
Yep. Yep. I guess it's neither in IFS Cloud, isn't it? Compared to there's still RESTful APIs in 10, but not as sexy as, if we could use that word, in IFS Cloud.
Yeah,
Yep. Cheers. Thanks, Ranil. Couple of questions, Siraji, coming in on WorkHub 24. If I could pass those through to you. And sorry, I know we're at the top of the hour, but is WorkHub 24 only available in the cloud?
That's a very good one. Yeah, I get that question asked almost all the time. Yes, John, it's available in the cloud. So we are hosted in AWS, so pretty much in the cloud, so that you can use it from anywhere.
Yep. Okay. And then I know you touched on this when you were talking about the API gateway that's built into WorkHub 24, but I think the question is around, can WorkHub 24 connect to other databases if they don't have an API available?
Absolutely, absolutely. So let me clarify that a bit, John. So sometimes databases could be on-prem. There are on-prem databases. So in such a scenario, yes, WorkHub 24 could be in the cloud. However, the API gateway, the API Hub 24 could be on-prem.
Okay. Yep.
Right? So we don't want your database to be exposed to the internet. So we will work alongside the database and open a secure REST HTTPS API to the outside world. That's how we can do it.
Perfect. Good to know that and to clarify it as well. And around question that's coming around licensing, how do you license users in WorkHub 24?
We have an interesting answer. Like you may have seen a lot of licensing happening around the named user accounts in systems, but we are a little different. And because of that, like our customers like us, love us, we have a different model. Like you may have few thousand employees in your organization who wants to use the system. We don't ask you to pay, say, 5,000 into X per month. Sometimes it's ridiculous. So what we say is go for the concurrent usage, actual usage, right? Right. At any moment, if you have only 100 people are using the system, so go for a concurrent user licensing, which is 100. But for that, we will give you, go ahead and create like 10,000 accounts in the system. Not a problem.
Got you. Yep, that makes sense. And I think too, you've mentioned to me before as well that there's no license restriction on the number of workflows or forms that you build. It's limitless, isn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what we want to encourage. Like we want you to digitalize more and more. Like remove all the paper-based forms and digitalize any number of applications.
Perfect.
Not a problem.
No, thanks for that, Siraji. We've got two more questions, Jeff, that are coming through just on CAD Talk, and then we'll wrap it up because we have gone over. But one of the questions that's come in is around, will engineering change orders from IFS impact parts in CAD data management systems?
That's a good question. So the way we have integrated with the ECO process inside IFS is to really, well, a couple of ways we could do it, but one of the ways that is to really as a workflow tool to give the engineers the information they need to process those changes at the CAD, right? So being able to see the ECO, approve it from within their CAD system, be able to see any kind of images or documents that have attached maybe from the shop floor, so that they can then process that ECO using their normal workflows through, if they have PDM, make the changes, put the part in WIP, do the changes, apply those,
Yep.
and then release it, close the update IFS, and then close the ECO and IFS. So the answer to that would be is
that makes sense.
It's not going to change it automatically. You still have to go through the workflow because a human still needs to make the decision on what parts to change.
Yep, that makes sense. Yep, thanks for that, Jeff. One final question is around how CAD-Talk is licensed for user access.
Yes, good question.
If you could,
CAD-Talk
explain that one.
is an automation tool. So it has kind of a base module cost, and then it has a floating, a concurrent license model. So that means you can install CAD-Talk on 100 machines, but if you have 5 licenses, you can only use CAD-Talk 5 times. I'd say, most of our customers, it's a 3-to-1 ratio. So if you had, say, 30 design engineers, at most you would need 10 licenses. And again, CAD-Talk doesn't have to be used by a design engineer. It can be used by anybody in the organization because it does not require CAD. It can be required to anybody in the organization who knows what IFS needs and can be in charge of that bill of material.
Yep, perfect. Thanks for that, Jeff. I think we've really kind of got to the last question there. But if there is anything that comes from today's session, please feel free to ping us a message or reach out. I guess the key is today for us, a couple of things. We really enjoy putting these sessions on. We hope they're useful and enjoyable. If you've got any feedback for us on what you'd like to see into the future as well, please reach out, let us know. If you'd like to find out anything more about WorkHub 24, IoT connectivity, or CAD-Talk, please reach out to InfoConsulting and we can set up a separate call and session with you. And second last thing I'd like to do is thank Jeff, Ranil, and Siraji for your time tonight, this morning, for presenting. We really appreciate it on behalf of InfoConsulting. And obviously, just to thank everyone who's joined today's session. We hope that it's been beneficial. It's great to see the number of people that we've got connected on the call, and we can send you out the recording as well. We hope this is our last session for the year, so we hope it's been very informative and enjoyable, and we're really looking forward to putting them on for next year. So I think that's it. We've gone 7 minutes over. My apologies for talking too much at the start, but it's been great to get your feedback, and for the team who presented today, again, thank you. Cheers, everyone. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone.